Your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3, and there's no denying that pets can make a great addition to our families. Both pets and owners have mutually beneficial relationships, from high-energy play to a lekker nap and a cuddle afterwards. Unfortunately, there are some misconceptions that may keep some people from experiencing the real joy of having a pet, and that's why we have the experts in studio. In fact, we have one expert. Karis Nafty is here to give us all the details and to myth bust with us about pets, and this includes dogs, reptiles, and of course, I have a cat lady here. We're not forgetting cats here today, but let's go for it.
Well, we are busting myths, but as an animal behaviorist consultant, I want to ask you, firstly, this is a two-part question. Why do we talk, hello? Why do our voices go higher when we interact with our cats and dogs? Hello, Sam.
So Sam's telling you exactly. Oh no, he's got a fright. Okay.
Oh.
So Sam's telling the reason why I think we go high with dogs is because of the reaction we get from them. So when there's a funny sound dogs are hearing, they turn their head. You know, it's like, oh, it's so cute, and that almost reinforces us in talking baby talk to a dog.
Oh.
They can hear high-pitched noises.
Yeah, I know. Yes, because you heard the voice. Yes, I'm so sorry. I know. And that's what I said to them earlier when I spoke to you. Okay.
Okay, I'll just let Sam do that. So I think that the high-pitched voice works because when we speak it, the dogs kind of know we're trying to engage with them, as Sam just told you. So
yeah.
I think that it just becomes a habit for people, honestly. I don't think there's a deeper reason beyond that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, my actual question, actually, to do with your job is, what was the thing that surprised you the most about your job in terms of what you've learned with, especially people interacting with animals or vice versa?
When I first started, the most interesting thing that struck me in the work that I do is how different dogs are. So people tend to think that a dog is just a dog, but the jobs that dogs were bred to do make them so different. It's hard to actually imagine that they're the same species. So that was the first thing, just interacting with hundreds of different dogs and all these sorts of different breeds. But the most interesting thing, and I think the most fantastic thing about the work I do, was learning how much you can fix a dog who is having behavior problems. So there's no such thing as a bad dog. It's more helpful to think that my dog is in some bad habits. Yes. We have to change the habits maybe, or I have to change my habits as the dog's owner. But almost every situation you can improve because you can really work with the habits that a dog has as long as you have the right information and a patient owner and you're willing to work with it.
I'm glad you said that, because that's a misconception right there and then. Bad dogs, bad cats, bad this, bad that. But there are circumstances and a context you have to create for these animals that are so important. So let's look at the misconceptions. I mean, there are a couple of things, like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Curiosity killed the... Okay, I can't say that one.
No,
So sorry, I won't say that one. No, not that one, not that one. I'm not going to say that one. But there are some of these misconceptions about animals. And let's start off with old dog. New tricks, true?
Yeah, wrong. No, not true. You can totally teach an old dog new tricks. Old dogs love learning new tricks. It keeps them young. It helps them learn all kinds of things. What's hard for older dogs to learn is good social skills. So there is some truth to that. So if you have a dog who, let's say, never got to play with dogs when it was younger, it didn't learn how to play, that is harder to teach to adults. But actual behaviors, no, you can teach old dogs new behaviors. They love it. It's some of the coolest dogs only started training when they were older. I've had people bring 10-year-old dogs to training class for their first class, and the dogs just come alive and they love it. Old dogs can definitely learn new tricks, yes.
Well, we are tackling misconceptions, and I think one, especially in the media, is around the pit bull breed, that they are dangerous and vicious dogs. Karis, what is your opinion on pit bulls?
So pit bulls are dogs that have to be looked at or have to be owned by people who have experience with the breed. Pit bulls are wonderful dogs. However, pit bulls are very strong dogs, and they have the capacity to become very dangerous. This is not a judgment call on the character of pit bulls. They're not automatically good or automatically bad. But so you don't need to be scared of a dog just because it is a pit bull. However, you don't want to be naive about getting a pit bull either. So it's a dog that needs to be understood but not judged.
The understanding is very, very important as well. You need to know the breeds of these dogs. But, you know, you've given us some really great pearls of wisdom for our pets. And we've kind of jumped into the fact that if you are planning to have a dog in the house or any sort of pet, it's always good to plan, breed, type.
Do your
capacity.
research, know what you're in for, know how much exercise the dog needs, and don't be swayed by the way a dog looks. Be more focused on the character of the breed to know,
Yes.
The lovable.
Indeed, and I think it's safe to say also just avoid the whole here's a puppy as a gift, you know, like you have to make sure that the family is prepared for this beautiful animal.
You would never give someone an adopted child as a gift. Do not give someone a puppy as a gift. Okay?
I'm so glad we said that. That's
yes.
it.
Seriously, it's a huge. You cannot give that sort of commitment to somebody. Have the conversation about them. Buy them a dog collar as a gift, but not a pretend.
Don't buy them the
I
animal.
love that analogy. That's great.
Oh, Karis, thank you for joining us and busting some myths with us. I love this, but I feel like now the ultimate challenge is we have to now hand over to Raul, but in our pet voices.
Yes, we have to. Ra, you're such a good boy.